Hello everyone! So today I'm just going to be doing a sketchbook tour. So this sketchbook is for 2022, so basically I finished it within a year. I'm slow when it comes to sketchbooks. So all the paintings in this sketchbook are watercolour, and I've left the label on just in case anybody's wondering what sketchbook it was. So I'm just going to take that off. So I really like this page. So the first painting was just a still life. My grandmother had, my grandmother's mum left her a watercolour tutorial book, but because my nan doesn't really paint, she gifted it to me. So this was just a tutorial from the book. If I find it, I'll insert a picture of it. So on the second page, I was still doing I was still in the mood for doing still life, so I did another one just with some flowers. I even used the same colours. So on this side is a practice painting for a YouTube video. So this, I still like how this turned out, but I think the actual piece for the video was the best, which is this one here. So I like how the detail in the ocean is better than the first one, but that's why it's just a practice. And then this side, this was a perspective when you look up into the sky when you're in a forest, so these are meant to be trees. I was inspired by a few photographs online, so I thought I'd give it a try. Oh, and some of these are stuck in, so makes the paper not bendy. So these two paintings I really love. I like how they turned out. They were relatively simple. I just wanted to do some nice watercolour landscapes. So that's these two. Another, again, this is also stuck in. I got some card that came out of a pad, so I thought I'd just pop it in here. So this painting was when I was on holiday, and it was sort of a plein air painting, but I didn't paint on site because even though it was warm, the wind was so brisk and cold on the beach that it would have been a nightmare to paint. So I just painted this when I got back to where I was staying. This bit here, as you can see on the other page, that wasn't actually meant to be there, it bled through. So this painting here is very messy. I tried to do, as you can see, a sunset. Now the story behind this is I had a pillow mist bottle that was empty, and I did wash it out, but I couldn't find my spritz bottle that I normally use, so I thought I'd use that, but I didn't clean it out well enough, which is why it sort of left a chemical mess and it made it bleed through. I mean, it made the sunset look nice, I just didn't clean it out properly, so that was my fault. Now on the painting on the other side, at the beginning when I first painted this, I hated it. I didn't like how it looked, but it grew on me and it's actually one of my favourites now. And I think it's because normally when I do landscapes, I stick to just greens and blues and yellows for like greenery. But this is the first two times that I tried to do sunsets, and I ended up loving them. So this is just some loose watercolour bees and some flowers. This painting at the bottom was from about a year and a half ago, so it's quite an old painting. But I found it in an old drawer and it wasn't doing anything, just sitting there, so I thought I'd stick it in. This painting's a bit rough around the edges and you can see where I've improved, but I still like it. I think. There we go, last time I missed this page. It's the second take of me trying to do this this tour. So I wanted to add a bit more depth to my watercolour paintings, so I practiced some figures. So, and I think that's my favourite figure. So this was just a practice page, nothing too special. It turned out to be really fun, so I'm hoping in the future I can add some figures to my paintings. These two paintings are also about a year old, but they're two of my favourites. So this was my first attempt at trying negative painting, where you do something dark in the back, and this was my attempt of it. I don't know how well I succeeded, but I think it's really pretty, so we're good there. This one was a practice on trying to get more definition. So in between the trees I used a darker green to try and make it look like it was in shadow, but it was quite difficult. I had a bit of a struggle trying to make it look good. So this painting was simply because I was painting all evening. I'd been painting all day, and by the time I got to the evening I was kind of burnt out. So I just went to what I know, which was just a simple landscape. So that's the behind this one. This one here was the first time I got a fan brush, so I was just using it to do grass, and I love the whole painting as it stands anyway. I think it's very pretty. I think this page was supposed to be a swatch page to test colours, but I didn't use it for that, so it's blank. This painting here was definitely, well, the two paintings here was definitely a trust the process sort of painting, because no matter how many times I did new layers, to me it looked like it was getting worse. And I actually had to sleep on the painting because I was starting to think that I was going to have to cover it. But in the morning I tried again working on it, and I ended up loving it. It's based on Red Dead Redemption 2, the game. I played the game before, but I was playing it my second playthrough, and I was trying to do everything in the game. And I'm at New Austin, so that's what this was inspired from. It's not a photo reference of anything in the game, I was just inspired by the landscape, so I had to paint something similar. Another swatch page that never got used. These two paintings are just Christmas paintings. I got some newer shiny acrylic paint and I wanted to play around a bit, so I painted these two. That's it. Yeah, it's all sparkly. Now this painting is my favourite in the entire sketchbook. Not only is it just a painting, it's also a memory. So if you see, it's in silver pen, there's a date there. And it was the date of a meteor shower. And I remember me and my mum were outside at 11 o'clock waiting for it, and we were starting to worry we weren't going to see it. But eventually we did see it, and there was this one big shooting star that we could actually see yellow and oranges in it, so I ended up painting it. So I love how this one turned out, it's my favourite. This one is a practice for a YouTube video. Ironically, I think this one turned out better than the one I actually did for the video, but I still like it. I still like both of them, I just think this one's very pretty. So this page was when I gave up making it neat. So originally I thought I was going to go into the sketchbook where it would all have a pristine white border and there would be no mess. But eventually it got a bit boring, so on this page I just did spontaneous, and it'd be daffodils in the background, and I just had fun. So I like how that looks. So these two paintings were just paintings that I drew on in pen. So that one I think is a video, and that one was just one I did in my own time, and I just stuck them in. This is my least favourite two pages. Because this painting originally didn't look like this. I had to sort of do a wash to cover up the mistake I made, so I ended up turning it into like a misty morning painting, but it hasn't got a lot of details and it's just not a favourite of mine. This was when I was still trying to do loose painting, so it's got no border or anything, and another one I just had fun with, and I think it turned out really pretty. So I did figures again because I had fun, but I ended up trying to do more details. This is just a guy wearing a coat and a tie, and then this is the actual painting for the YouTube video that I did. This was another loose painting. It's like a sort of a pond area. It's a bit more messy because I used the watercolours that was already dried in the pan, and it made them feel a bit gritty. But I still like it, it's got a weird texture to it. Again, the same thing, it was sort of textured, but I like this one. I think it came out nice. Some more beans. So again, this was some florals. I just wanted to do a different colour and I did pink, so I did there. Oh, this was a gift box that I was gifted. It was just a sticker, so I just stuck it in my sketchbook. And then I stuck in another painting where I drew over it in pen, and then I just splattered it with colours. Another swatch page that I missed. And then I was trying I think it's called a bokeh affecting watercolour, but I failed. But I still think this is pretty, and I don't know if you can tell, it's just Christmas baubles. So, and then in the pocket I've just got some old illustrations, so old watercolour, and then one ink. So yeah, so that's this whole sketchbook. I hope you got to see everything alright and you enjoyed watching. Bye!